Look at this early childhood program. What do you see? Children playing, having fun. Children learning as they play. You can see a lot. But one part of this program is invisible. The theory behind it. All programs have theories, whether formal or informal. Professionals who run programs have theories, and so do parents. In fact, everybody has theories about children, how they develop, and what they need. Listen to Akemi. She is critical of a theory that doesn't match hers.
It's a real different mentality there. And also, to be humble, I noticed this woman who has a baby his age, she would put him down in front of my son I think to make me feel comfortable, because my son wasn't walking and her son was walking really well, which didn't bother me a bit. But she thought, oh, no, she was being really Asian, and she said, no, my son is rather stupid in this area. And I was thinking, my God, she's saying that in front of her son.
Oh, just so you wouldn't be uncomfortable.
Right, and I, being kind of raised in this environment since I was 15, so I'm more used to praising my son in front of strangers, like, oh, isn't he beautiful? And if somebody said, your son is so cute, I'll say, thank you, I think he is too. But in Orient, and in my husband's culture too, you go, oh, no, my son is kind of silly, and, oh, he's got funny nose, and that's kind of being humble. And is that like in this?
No, I don't think so.
Parents like to talk about their theories. They can check out whether or not their theories match, or learn about those of recognized theorists. Who are these recognized theorists? This video will give you a sample of the major ones. It will also give you an overview of theory in action, showing how theoretical frameworks affect the way we see children and deal with them. When trying to sort out the theories, it helps to think of the whole child. Each theory focuses on a slightly different aspect. The child is made up of mind, feelings, body, and the child operates in a social context. Theorists who focus on the mind are called cognitive theorists. Jean Piaget is a name that stands out from the others. Piaget was most interested in how children think.
Longer than Henriette.
Tell me more about it. Which ones are the strongest?
This one. It's powerful. Stress. You know what its name is? Gordon.
Piaget would have regarded this conversation as a peek into how this child's mind is developing rationality.
This is Bill and Ben.
Piaget describes stages of cognitive development, stages that occur in succession, always in the same order. From the reflexive movements of very young infants to the trial and error approach of young children. To the thought-out reasoning of the early adolescent.
Back in the 20s, or like 1800s, late 1800s, men were treating women unfairly. And I think now that women should be treated as equal to men.
Let's look at each of those stages a little closer. Edward's movements are random. Does this really have something to do with his intellectual development? Piaget says yes. Piaget would tell you that Edward is in the beginning of the sensory-motor stage of cognition. Piaget's research indicates that with time and through interaction with people and the environment, the child grows in ability to understand the world and how it works. A lot of progress is made through a trial and error approach. But eventually, children can begin to explain things without trying them out each time.
Can you go backwards too?
Oh no, I can't. Because the backwards pedal is the brake.
Well, I know one job that would be considered a woman's job, and it probably would always be considered this housewife.
Piaget's final stage of cognitive development occurs when adolescents can use logic to talk about ideas and propositions.
I know someone who he let his wife go and work for the first time when the babies were little, and then when they got older, they both worked and they got a babysitter. I don't think there's any job that a woman has to do. Well, she doesn't have to.
Piaget was what was called a stage theorist. He believed in the literal meaning of the term development. That is, the stages unfold through maturation. He described development occurring in distinct steps that always fall in the same order. Piaget would tell you that this alphabet quilt is way beyond this baby. He's not ready to match letters and sounds. He is still in the very preliminary stages of symbolic development. These children are dealing with symbolism at a more concrete level. One finger stands for one muffin. They are gaining number concepts. Look, Kiana is matching her fingers up to Dennis's. She is making what Piaget called one-to-one correspondence, an important step in understanding numbers. The written number, or numeral, comes later. Piaget believed less in teaching than putting children in a rich environment and letting them explore it. He did not stress right answers. Piaget would have questioned that this child needs the teacher's praise.
We did it. Good job, good job, good job.
Children can get hooked on praise. Then they quit exploring and put their energy into pleasing adults. Exploration is an important part of Piaget's theory. Thanks to Piaget and others, young children are viewed as active learners. Those who follow Piaget's theory are adamant that children be allowed just to diddle around like this boy is doing. This is more important than sitting and listening to a teacher. Piaget saw this kind of behavior as mind-related. The boy is exploring the doll in a sensory motor way. By using his imagination, he is beginning to create images in his mind, an early step of symbolic development. Other theorists would see this behavior as more related to feelings than mind. Feelings are the major focus of people who follow the psychoanalytic theory of development. The big names here are Sigmund Freud and his student, Erik Erikson. Freud and Erikson would have made much of this scene, concerned as they were with what's hidden deep in the psyche and in the inner recesses of the heart. Watch these children. They are working out emotional issues through pretend play in a very good psychoanalytic fashion. They've been to the doctor before. They are replaying their fears and anxieties, perhaps. Piaget would have looked at the same scene and said it shows evidence that the children are developing symbolic representation. They use a piece of plastic for a blood pressure cuff, showing that they can make one object stand for another. Cognitive theory and psychoanalytic theory, two different ways of looking at the same behavior. Like Piaget, Freud and Erikson were stage theorists. That is, they believed that the psyche unfolds in successive stages. Watch Denise's mouth. It's constantly busy. Denise is in Freud's oral stage. So are these babies. Ah, oral satisfaction. It's not just the food in the stomach, but the feelings in the mouth. Oral satisfaction is important during the first year, according to Freud, the father of psychology. If you're a Freudian, you worry that if a baby isn't able to satisfy his oral needs, he'll grow up to be a chain smoker or worse. Erikson looks at Freud's oral stage as the time babies develop a sense of basic trust. They come to see the world as a place where they get their needs met, when someone consistently heeds their cries and feeds them. They see the world as cold and cruel when nobody seems to care. It isn't just what's done to them, but also how it's done. Babies who never get loving treatment learn mistrust. After Freud's oral stage comes his anal stage. Toilet training is the highlight of this stage and must be handled sensitively, says Freud.
It's time for a bath.
Erickson's corresponding stage is what he called the stage of autonomy. Children are allowed to say no and protest because the adults in their lives believe in Erickson, whether they know his name or not.
What's the matter? What's the matter, baby? Yeah, Catherine's gonna take a bath too.
It's just a stage, harried adults say to reassure themselves.
You got total rebellion.
We've looked at theories focusing on mind and feelings. Body is the focus of Arnold Gazelle, another stage theorist who was most meticulous in describing the milestones of physical development. Physical development unfolds. It can't be taught, says Gazelle, the maturationalist. Mother doesn't need to clap for him. He doesn't require her praise. Wrong, says another theorist, B.F. Skinner. Skinner focused on the body like Gazelle, but unlike Gazelle, he was not a maturationalist. Skinner was a behaviorist.
Corey will show you how to put them in there.
He didn't believe in development unfolding in ages and stages. He believed that all behavior is learned through the consequences of our own actions.
Okay, now put them in there for me again. Try the other one. That's it. Very good.
We repeat behavior when we receive reinforcement for it. We avoid behavior when there is no reinforcement.
That's not going to try. Very good, Corey. Very good. You're going to turn it, huh?
When adults use rewards, even just simple ones as praise, they show they are influenced by behavioristic principles.
There you go. Good job. Very good job. Yeah, I'm proud of you. Good job.
But behaviorism is a science, and Skinner would tell you that few parents or even teachers truly understand it or use it effectively.
Where'd they go? William? I don't think that's okay to hurt.
Watch this once more.
Where'd they go? William? I don't think that's okay to hurt friends at school or anywhere.
The teacher is doing it all wrong, according to behaviorists.
Stop it.
By paying attention to this behavior, she is only reinforcing it.
Don't push friends at school, okay?
Better to pay attention to the behavior you want and ignore behavior you don't want. Social learning theory takes behaviorism a step further by adding modeling or imitation to the explanations of why children behave the way they do. Why do you think the little boy snatched the pizza from the little bride? Is he the husband? Does he figure she made it for him? Where did he get the idea that brides cook for their husbands? Are they both imitating somebody? Somebody on TV? I Love Lucy, maybe? You can tell a little boy not to be aggressive and a little girl that she doesn't have to grow up and get married. But they are both more apt to copy the models around them than pay attention to words. Do as I say, not as I do, doesn't work, no matter how often you say it. Especially when it comes to spanking. Because children imitate their parents, spanking can cause more problems than it solves. Hitting children who hit causes them to hit more, not less, according to social learning theory. Mind, body, and feelings. We've covered them all. Children are not just walking bundles of feelings housed in a body that's guided by a mind. They are born into and grow up in a social context. Erikson, though he focused on feelings in psychoanalytic tradition, also believed in the effect of culture on development. There is another theorist, Lev Vygotsky, who believed in cultural context. His sociocultural theory has come into its own in the last few years. Vygotsky believed in the influence of culture like Erikson, but he also focused on how the mind works. Like Piaget, Vygotsky believed that children construct knowledge. They don't just take it in. Vygotsky believed in the power of language.
We were going to Travel Town, you and me. And I would come in the front door of Travel Town.
Yeah?
Cross. What would I see first?
Trains. Yeah?
And what would they be like? And tell me about the noises they make.
Well, one sounds like a poop poop. Like an express engine coming. One day, our washing machine sounded like express engine coming.
And what else would I hear? What's the other one sound like?
Well, which one?
Do you hear any other sounds from the engine?
Well, no, not actually.
How about them? Do you hear, do they have horns or something in them? Tell me about those.
The ones that have horns?
Whistles or something?
Whistles. That's what I mean. Every engine has whistles. And you know what? Especially every engine has names.
Really? What names do they have?
Well, I haven't heard them yet.
Vygotsky thought that social interaction is a vital ingredient in learning and development. He didn't preach hands-off. Watch this teacher try hard to leave the child alone to do it himself. Even though he can't resist helping just a little, you can tell that he was trying not to. You can tell that he's not a Vygotsky scholar, or he wouldn't be so hesitant to do what's called scaffolding. That is, providing support and assistance. According to Vygotsky, assisted performance is fine, even desired.
There you go.
According to Piaget, children should be left alone to explore the material world and discover what they can do in it without the help of adults.
Great.
Two different ideas about development.
Right.
Watch this little boy learn to make tortillas with the help of his teacher in good Vygotsky fashion. The boy tries and fails. His tortilla crumbles. The teacher actively intervenes, showing him how to do it. He watches his teacher demonstrate. Now he's ready to do it. Success. Now he wants to count the tortillas. One is hiding under the other. Again, a teacher helps him so that he can be successful. His assisted performance is superior to what his independent one would be. Nonsense, Piaget would say. Too much stress on getting it right when he obviously isn't quite ready. Why wait when you can help a little? Vygotsky would argue. Theories. There are all kinds of theories. Watch these child development professionals discuss today's trends.
Most of us have learned, yes, it is kind of hands-off. Don't model, don't do this. Now with what we're learning more about the Reggio approach and Vygotsky and that the teaching moment, they're saying more that maybe there should be more intervention at the appropriate moments, and the whole view has to be towards training professionals as to what is that appropriate moment to intervene. I mean, I've had to rethink my whole point of view about modeling for children. How much hands-off should there be? How much intervention should there be? And I think our whole profession is right now in a state of asking ourselves these questions. And perhaps there ought to be some way to acknowledge that in this video.
Yeah. I think it would also be good to acknowledge, as much as I do acknowledge Reggio and Vygotsky, I also want to acknowledge parents who have been saying this for a long time.
Yes.
And because they're not professionals and not researchers, we haven't attended to their voices.
Everybody, parents, researchers, the person on the street, all have ideas about how to deal with children, how they grow and learn, how they develop. Sometimes one theory contradicts another. Whose theories are right? Whose theories are wrong? You can't think of right and wrong when it comes to theories of child development. Even though they may be in conflict with one another, each have something to contribute to our understanding of children.